Welcome all on the session of decision science. Today we are going to see how to solve transportation problem where there are some special cases, and today's case is the degeneracy in transportation problem. Okay, what do you mean by degeneracy? If you remember, there is a condition which says whenever you find a solution, the total number of allocated cells should be equal to m plus n minus 1. Okay, whenever we get the solution and it is not the feasible solution, that means if the value of allocated cells is not equal to m plus n minus 1, then we say that it is a degeneracy form. Okay, for example, I have got one solution here in the example which we got using the northwest corner. Okay, the number of allocated cells is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now 5 is not equal to m plus n minus 1, which is nothing but 7 minus 1, which is 6. Okay, that means we actually required how many allocations? 6 allocations, and we have got only 5 allocations. That means we have come to a solution which is not feasible because the number of allocations is not equal to m plus n minus 1. Now in this case, what we do is we search for the unoccupied cells having the least cost. Okay, so we have least cost 1 here, and there's a tie between these two cells. Okay, and we add a value which is your epsilon. Okay, so let us add an epsilon in one of the cells, and because there is a tie, I'll just add an epsilon here. Your epsilon is nothing but the smallest value, okay, or quantity that can be added to your transportation problem and which will have no effect on my overall cost. Clear? So now after adding the epsilon, the number of allocated cells is equal to 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now we have removed this degeneracy from the transportation problem. One more thing, remember, it is not that we will get degeneracy form only while solving or while getting the initial feasible solution. We can also get degeneracy while using the Modi method to get the optimum solution. So what is the solution to get or to remove the problem from degeneracy is to add a variable epsilon, which is nothing but the smallest quantity which will not affect my overall cost. Always remember one more thing, how many epsilons you are going to add depends on this number, how many cells need to be allocated so that it is equal to m plus n minus 1. In this case, there was only one cell where I could have added the epsilon. So I got the least cost, there was a tie, I decided to put an epsilon in the cell S1 D3. Okay, and we have removed the degeneracy. Now let us go ahead and solve this problem so that we get the solution further. So I will be using the Modi method to solve my problem and see whether I can get rid of this epsilon in any of the steps while solving the problem. So I have written down this transportation matrix here. I will quickly put the values, or let us come here itself and check whether we can solve this problem. So quickly I'll write here U1, U2, U3, U4. This is my row numbers. I'll put the column number here V1, V2 and V3. Okay. Now, as you know, we have to check which column or row has the maximum allocations 1, 2, 3 here. So, I can assign V3 equal to 0 first. Okay. Using this value 0, I can find out the values of the other variables U1, U2, U3 and U4. You can see there is an allocated cell here because we have put an epsilon. So, what is the function to find out the value of U1 and U's and V's? It is simple one, Cij equal to Ui plus Vj. Okay. So, we have 1 equal to Ui plus U1 plus V3. So, this will be 1. Okay. Next one we have here 2 equal to U3 plus 0. So, this is 2 and similarly we have here 7. Okay. Now, we have got 1 here. I can find out the value for V1 because this is allocated cell. Okay. 3 is equal to 1 plus V1. So, 3 minus 1 will give me 2. So, V1 is 2. Okay. Because we have got now V1, I can find out the value for U2. Now, this is 2 plus U2 should give me 2. So, this will be 0. Clear? So, we have got 1, 0, 2 and 3. What is remaining? V2 is remaining. We have got a 0 here. So, this will be 4. Clear? Now, once we do this, I will just clean off this one. Okay. Once we get the values of U's and the V's, we are going to calculate the opportunity cost. For unoccupied cell. Clear? Using the formula Cij bar equal to Cij minus Ui plus Vj. Okay, this is the formula. Cij equal to Cij bar equal to Cij minus into bracket Ui plus Vj. Okay. So, which are the empty cells here? This is my first one. So, quickly I will write C12 bar equal to 2 minus 1 plus 4, that gives me minus 3. Next is epsilon is already occupied. So, next is 2, 3. So, C23. C23 is 1 minus 0 plus 0. So, this is 1. Then we have C31. C31 is 3 minus 2 plus 2, that is 4, minus 4, that is give me minus 1. Then C32, 5 minus 6, that gives me minus 1 again. So, C32 is minus 1, 4 1 is 4 minus 9, that gives me minus 5. Next is 4 2, 4 2 is 6 minus 11, that gives me minus 5. No more allocated unoccupied cells. Now, look at the opportunity cost. Okay. Now, the maximum, you can see we do not have all the values as positive, we have some negative values. Okay. And the least value which we have minus 5. So, this minus 5 here and minus 5 here. Let us check if I do allocations in either one of the cells, how many units I can allocate, or we can also check the cost involved. So, for C41 the cost is 4, okay, and for C42 is 6. Least cost is 4. That means I should go for allocations in the cell S4D1. Okay. So I'll make an allocation here. If I have to make an allocation here, what is the possibility? I will have one rectangle here or a closed circuit such that I start from here, and remember the horizontal and the vertical line, and it should turn only from the occupied cell. So if I draw a line from here, I come here, from here I'll go to this epsilon which is occupied, from here again I'll come to 20, and finally I'll come back to the cell from where I have started. So this becomes my closed loop or circuit. I'll put a plus sign here, minus, plus and minus. Look at the values where we have the minus sign. We have 20 and 25 here. The least value is 20. So I will add 20 in the cells where I have put the plus signs and subtract 20 from the cells where I have the minus sign. Okay. So I will rewrite this in the cell down here. So 20 minus 20 will give me here a 0. So I won't have any value written here. Okay. Now epsilon will now be epsilon plus 20, which will become 20. Remember, epsilon is the smallest value which is very negligible. Okay. So the number remains as it is, 20. Clear? Then in the next one here we don't have any value because 20 minus 20 will give me 0. Write down the other values, 20 here, and we had a 30 here. No changes. Then we got a plus sign here. So add a 20 here. Fine. And we got a minus sign. So 25 minus 20 will give me a 5 here. Okay. And we had a 30 here from the original matrix. Clear? Now count, once we do the assignments, do count the values, how many allocated cells we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now 6 is equal to m plus n minus 1. That means the solution which we have got now is a feasible solution. Okay, and there is no degeneracy as well. Clear? So we are able to remove this epsilon which we had added to remove the degeneracy. Okay. What will be the next step after getting all this allocation and checking the value of m plus n minus 1? We are going to again find the values of u's and v's and calculate the opportunity cost. Let us quickly do this. Let us see which column or row has maximum allocations we have here. So I'll put a 0. So this will be 1. Okay. This will be 2 and this is 7 again. Fine. Now we have allocation 7 here and we can do the calculation for V1. So we have 4 equal to, okay, we have 4 equal to 7 plus V1. So this will be minus 3. Okay. So 7 minus 3 will give me 4. Clear? Now if this is minus 3, I can find out the value for U2. Okay, and I need 2. So U2 will be 5. So you can see 5 minus 3 will give me the value cost Cij 2. Okay, so this is done. We have to still find out the value for V2 and we have an allocation here. So you can see 4 and we have 5 here, 5. So this will be minus 1. So 5 minus 1 will give me 4. Okay. Now let us calculate the opportunity cost for C11. So we have 3 minus 1 plus into bracket minus 3, so this is minus 2. So we have 3 plus 2, that is 5. Okay, let us quickly do it for the others. We have here, we'll get 2 here, then for 2 3 C2 3 bar, I will get minus 4. Let us see how we get minus 4. 1 minus 5 plus 0, so minus 4. Okay, next we have C31. For C31 we got a 4. For C32 we got a 4 again, and then finally for C42 bar we get 6 minus 7 into bracket 7 minus 1, that is 6. 6 minus 6 gives me a 0. Please remember, whenever you get a 0, that means there is a alternate solution as well. But if you look at all the values, we have negative value here. So C23 has a negative value. That means if I make an allocation here, I can reduce my cost further. So let us check C23 23. So this is the cell where I can do the allocation, and if I do this allocation here, I can draw a circuit. Okay, so let us go from here to here, then down here to 5 and back to this cell. Okay, I'll put a plus sign here, minus, plus and a minus. Look at the values where I have put the minus sign. We have 20 and we have 5. Least is 5. That means I can add 5 here, subtract from 5 from 20, add 5 here. Okay, and I will rewrite this matrix again. So let us quickly do this. I have 20. Okay, now you can see this one. We have plus here and we have to add a 5 here, so I'll add a 5 here. Fine. 30 remains as it is, so I'll put 30 here. 5 will give me 0, so no need of doing any allocation in this cell. Okay, count the number of allocated cells. We have 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, which is equal to m plus n minus 1. So it is a feasible solution. Okay, repeat the steps to find the values of u's and v's. So assign a 0 to V3 now. So V3 gets a 0. Okay, and we have 1 here, we get 1 and 2. Okay, using this value of 1, I can calculate V2 will be 3. You can see 1 plus 3 gives me 4. 1 plus 1 will give me 2. Okay, so I've got all the V's. There's U4 which is remaining, and I can use this. So U4 plus 1 should give me 4. So this will be 3. Okay, let us calculate the opportunity cost. Now this time we have C11. 3 minus 1 plus 1, that is 2, will give me 1. C12, we have 2 minus 4, it gives me minus 2. So we do have a negative value. 3 1, because in the second row we don't have any empty cells or unoccupied cell. We come to 3 1. 3 minus 3, which gives me 0. Okay, for 3 2, we have 5 minus 2 plus 3, that is 5 again, so 0. Okay, next is C42. 6 minus 6, 0, and finally 4 3, 7 minus 3, that gives me 4. Now we have got 3 zeros, that means there is a possibility of alternate solution, and we also have a negative value. Okay, because we have a negative value, we have not come to the optimum solution. So in C12, that is C12, so 1, 2 here I can do an allocation. So if I do an allocation here, I can have a closed circuit from the neighboring cells itself, put the plus sign, plus here, a minus here, a plus here, and a minus here. Okay, look at the values where we have put the minus sign, 20 and 30, list is 20. That means I can add 20 here, subtract 20 from the cells where we have the negative values. So I'll add 20 here, subtract 20 from 1 here, from this cell, so I don't have any value. Now add 20 to 5, that will become 25. Subtract 20 from 30, I'll get a 10. This was 15 from the previous matrix. Okay, coming to S3, we have a 30 here. Okay, in S4 we have 25 here. No more other values. Okay, how many cells are allocated? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So this is my feasible solution, but whether it's an optimum, let us do the calculations for U1 and U2s. Now we can see we have 3 allocations here, so I'll put a 0 here. Okay, and quickly calculate the values of U's and V's. This will be 1, this will be 4, and this will be 2. Using this 4, I can get this will be minus 2. Okay, you can see minus 2 plus 4 will give me the cost 2. Okay, next I have 1 here and I need 2, so this will be 1, and finally U4 will be 2. Okay, let us quickly calculate the opportunity cost for the unoccupied cells. So we have C11, we have 3 minus into bracket minus 2 plus 2 will be 0, so this will be 3. Okay, C1, 3 is unoccupied, so we have 1 minus into bracket minus 2 plus 1, that is minus 1, 1 minus into bracket minus 1, that will be 1 plus 1, that will give me 2. C31, 3 minus 1 plus 2, that is 0 here. Okay, so this problem has an alternate solution, please remember. Then we have 4, 2. Okay, 3, 2 we have not calculated. 3, 2, let us do the calculation for 3, 2 first, or let us do for 4, 2 and then we'll go to 3, 2. 6 minus 6, that is 0, and 3, 2 was remaining, so we'll do the calculation for 3, 2. 3, 2 is 5, 5 minus 1 plus 4, that is 5, so 0. Okay, again, and the last one, let us do the calculation for 4, 3. C 4, 3. Okay, we have 7 minus 2 plus 1, 3, that is 4. Okay, as now we have got all positive values, we have arrived at the optimum solution. Okay, so this is my optimum solution. Let us calculate the total cost. So total cost will be equal to, we have 20 multiplied by 2, that is 40, plus 15 multiplied by 2, 30, plus 10 multiplied by 4, 40, plus 25 multiplied by 1, 25, plus 30 multiplied by 2, 60, and 25 multiplied by 4 will give me 100. Let us add this up. We have here 100, 160, this becomes 200, 270, 295. Okay, this is my optimum solution. But remember, because we have got zeros in 3 cells here, 3 1, 4 2 and 3 2, we also have alternate solution. Now to find the alternate solution, what you have to do again, let us go to 3 1 here, and 3 1, if I do the allocation in this cell, we can have a closed circuit from here to here. Fine, you can see this is a closed circuit, okay, and the negative signs will be this and this. 15 is the least one, that means I can assign 15 here, okay, subtract 15 from here, this will be 15, and add 15 here, which will be 40. And we can also come up with the other solutions as well. Try to assign in 4 2, so this cell. So if I do the assignment here, I'll get a closed circuit here, okay. So this will be plus, minus, and this will be minus. 10 is the least value, so I can add 10 here, add 10 here, subtract 10 from here, okay, and I get the other solution, okay. I would like you all to go ahead and find the alternate solution as well for this given problem. I hope you have understood how to remove the degeneracy from any transportation problem and how to go about solving such problems. Please remember, you can also get the degeneracy form while solving the Modi method as well for finding the optimum solution. Okay, please give a try and find the alternate solution for this given problem. Thank you.